I want to start. I start with Moshe, Moshe, where are you? Okay? Moshe, Moshe, where are you? Atot Tetzaveh as Bnei Yisrael v'yikru elei Hashem azayis. Goldstein, you should take, it says Atot Tetzaveh. In the Parasha of, take one of these, please. In the Parasha of Tetzaveh, Moshe's name is not mentioned. And the Mepharshim explain, even though in Akab and Shoftim he's not mentioned, but that is Mishnah Torah. But when once already Moshe came on the scene, every parsha in the Torah, Moshe is mentioned, except this parsha. Because Moshe, Moshe, where are you? Why is his name not mentioned? But in reality, he's there because he says, Atot Tetzaveh, meaning, Moshe, you command. But the name Moshe is not mentioned. The question is, why is Moshe's name missing? So the Balatur explains, Lo hiski Moshe b'seidah hazeh, Moshe is not mentioned in this parsha. Ma'ashen came b'chol ha'chumash, shemishor, shenoilad Moshe ein seder shaloi huzker bo. It's not a parsha that doesn't mention Moshe's name. Moshe's name is all named Moshe's name. And they bring down that even the end of this parsha, the end of the Pesukim is 101. If you look at the Cheshbon, you work out, in the taking the mem is mem, and shin yud nun is shin, and hey aleph, and you add it up, comes to 101. 101 is Moshe. But he's beremez. Moshe is beremez. But his name is not mentioned. He's there, but not mentioned. Okay? But Tom, what's the reason? Mishum shomar mechenu mesivcha sher kasaf. When the Jewish people did the terrible mice of the Egel, so Moshe Hashem said, Lord, I'm going to make you the leader make a new nation from you. Forget about Abraham and Yaakov. I'm going to start from you now, and destroy all the Jews. What did Moshe Rabbeinu? He pleaded with Hashem. He says, no. What am I? Focus on the Jews. I'm nothing. Mecheni is like, write me out of the Sefer. Because he said those words, if a Talmud Chacham, a big rabbi says something, even on a Tanai, it happened. That's why there's a famous story that Vilna Gaon there was a story on Simchas Torah, and somebody stepped on the Vilna Gaon's foot, and the Vilna Gaon said, no, it was like the Zuntad Me'ev Esrim, you should live long to 120, whatever he said, and sure enough, he waited exactly for the day, he died that day. After he passed on, because the bracha of a big Talmud Chacham, big tzaddik, is Mekutim, or the other way around. If, just the opposite, if he makes a klola, it takes effect even though he made it tonight. And that I want to explain. So everybody says, be very careful how you call your children. Call them stupid, dopes, crazy. So that happens. Maybe not exactly, but somewhere along it'll happen. You have to be very careful with your mouth. And all the problem in the government today is about the mouth. This minister said that, who said that, when they said who. You have to watch your mouth. But I want to explain why. There's a little deep reason. When you make any statement, you have to take full responsibility of your statement. So when Moshe Rabbeinu said, take me off my books like you're bargaining, you're going to want to buy something. So you have a price, it's all or none. So you have to be able to take both sides of the thing. It's not say, well, I'm now threatening the person, but I really don't mean it. That's not true. Once you say a word out of your mouth, it's already not yours. It's already bookless out of your mouth. You can't control it. It's gone. Once somebody writes something in a printed word, it's there. It's beyond you. You can't go explain it. What is written is written. It's finished. It's full responsibility. So when you make a statement, whatever statement be, you take full responsibility of what it is. On either side or anything. Don't say, well, I meant this, I meant it. No, you said it, finished. You're finished. There's only a few things you can take you back. It's called Toich Kedei Dibur. If you wait a few minutes, show them like a Rebbe Murray, you have those few minutes, you don't retract, it's already finished. You go to court, you can't retract. And by marriage and by Avei Zara, etc., once you say the word, it's finished. The boy asks you when you get married, you say yes, and no, too late. It's finished. It's finished. I'm talking about the chuppah. It's finished. Because since it's a serious thing, when you open your mouth, it's just a finalized statement. It's not just a word. Okay.
Is there ever any situation of fraud?
That what?
If somebody's lying, they're not the person who they say they are. Can you retract?
That is a hard problem. I'll tell you the tricks if you want to know the tricks. You see, Moshe Rabbeinu, when he said, they asked where is he from, he didn't say he was a Jew. He got punished for that. Now, Rabbi Scheinberg has matter a few things. When you go to court and you have to swear, you don't swear. You don't say, I do. He has another language you say. I can't remember. I can't remember. He has a certain language to say that doesn't obligate you. And the religious people want to make vows or agree. There's a thing called white lies, where you have a certain frame of reference or something. That's a little hard. There are things like that brought down in the Gemara how to speak. Like we have the famous case of Yaakov. His father asked, "Are you the Bachor?" What did he answer? You know what he answered? Yeah, the girl. What did Yaakov answer Yitzchak? Anyway, I am. And Bachor, so there's ways of taking the words and chopping it up.
Okay, what happens if I say, I want to marry a rabbi, and you tell me you're a rabbi, and you're not really a rabbi?
And then, so simply, it's bottle. Not real. You want to marry a rabbi.
And then, we get married.
Yeah.
And you're not a rabbi, and I find that out,
So that's called Mekach Toros.
What is that?
Mekach means the agreement is annulled.
It can be annulled.
It can be annulled, just a rabbi. But he'll say the rabbi that you meant that was enough rabbi to fool you, that called a rabbi. You didn't know what a rabbi really was. You see, it's not so simple.
Okay,
You'll go to court and say a rabbi. You fool with it.
If you say you went to college and you had this degree and you own this business and that's
These are legal. Rabbi Goldstein, years ago, I had this girl come to me. She told this guy that she was, 37. She was about 40. And she had to produce her birth certificate. And it was a real hot shot. I had to go to the Arabs in town, and these guys involved with El Fatah. I had to go down to these areas, and they had to do her birth certificate in a way and make sure that it changed at the time. He really didn't care, but she had to keep her word. She was afraid the guy would marry her.
Now she's intentional.
But what happens if none of these? If you believe this person, you don't.
There's certain things, yes, certain things not. Certain things you can find out. And you can know.
If
you didn't research, then it's your fault.
You have to research it before. Once you say yes, that's it.
No, you have to research what it is. I mean, a lot of people get married under false pretense, but the real truth is, I'll tell you the true story. I'll tell you the true story. Rabbi Zimmerman, early morning, he tells over the story. Early morning, Sunday morning, he goes in Borough Park and he sees this big tall guy, and he asked him, I'm looking for Rabbi Zimmerman. And, yeah, well. He lives down there, and he runs away. Why? Because, you see, if this guy's daughter or son got married, and they made the agreement, and in the agreement, when you get married, you have all these agreements. He gives so much, he gives the car and the house, and who knows what, she gives the car and the house, and they, who knows what's happening. They have these 5 keys and 10 keys, whatever they have to have. You get married. So the law really is, Midaraisa is that once you're married, so the girl and the guy is Amocha. Except that's the story. So once they're married, but the paper says you have to give it. They didn't give it. They want to break up the marriage. So Rabbi Zimmerman was the one that passed that once you're married, even though you made all these agreements, it has no value. So this man who represents the girl's side is looking for Rabbi Zimmerman. So he ran the other way. But I don't know. These are court cases that go on. But anyway, you have to be careful what you say. Either any side, even on a Tanai. Okay. V'hoi, the Zuha Parsha medaberes betachsisei kahuna mimaisha oisef kahuna gedol lotzeis el al yedei shesirei leilech b'shlichas hamokom not b'mena not laro. Lachinu Yisrael shemay shemay. In other words, really the kahuna is supposed to be all for Moshe Rabbeinu, but because he didn't want to go to Egypt, and he says, how can I go for 7 days? So there, because of that, the kahuna was given to Aaron and Nani. Okay, all those things are nice things. Okay. So first of all, we see that even though Moshe is there and happening, but his name is not mentioned. Okay. Now we have another statement I want to read. This is lighting the candles. Noshim Tzivor. You got that? Remez lahadlokes haneiros l'chovos nefesh Shabbat. It's a remez to Atat Tetzaveh, the word Gematria Noshim Siva. If you take the word Tetzaveh and get the Gematria, how he does, I don't know, gets Noshim Siva. The women are commanded to light Shabbos candles. Okay? Now, over here on the next page. Okay, interesting. Okay, interesting. If you read the bottom piece, you have two interesting parts here. Why do women really light the candles? You see number 4. Why? Starts with me, Ayin Shabbos Chaf Hey Beis Lamed Aleph Beis. Psikta Omu. Lo Manispo Parshas Haneres L'Moadim. Lamed Divrei Rabosei Shoma Hadlokas Neir B'Shabbos Mitzvah. Lefikach Nismachol HaMitzvah Shabbosos Moed LaHashem. It says in the Gemara and the Psikta, why is the parsha of Neiros is by the Moadim to tell that you have to light Ner Shabbos and Ner for Yom Kippur, for Yom Tov. It's a Gemara, it's a Psikta. So why do we light the candles? Is because the parsha of Tetzaveh of Neiros is near the parsha of Moadim. Okay, it's a Gemara, it's a Psikta. So really, men and women have to light the Friday night candles and the Yom Tov candle. Why is it the women do it? So he says because Muzharot, because they're more careful about it. That's what he says. Mikol Mokom Anoshim Muzharot B'Yosef Yisma Medrash. Why? Because of the Maisa of Chava and Adam Arishon that she extinguished the light of the world. Okay. The Rambam gives a different reason why she's home. The Rambam says, "Nosam Tavalom Nation Shemitzuvas Babayas Loisekes Tzarech Habayit." That's the Torah. Arachaim brings it down. Okay. He brings down an interesting thing. According to Shloach Kodos, the man you should use shemen and a little bit Tosfos Akiva. You see in the bottom, the last piece, he says usually it's like this here. Very interesting. I don't know if we possibly do this, but anyway, I don't think it'll happen. It won't happen Lamaisa, but he says this here. He wants to hold it this here. Since it says, "B'Tosfos Akiva Egel and Mishnaya Shabbos Daik and Mishnah B'Loitona Stam Uvener Komoda Toni B'Chala." What's all around is Lomad Yisa Be Tikkun Hazor Balabayas Yatakin Es Haneiros Vishto Tadman. Who fixes the candlesticks? The husband. And who lights it? The woman. Comes from Tikkun Hazor. And it said that's what says the Lashon B'Had Lokas Haner. The lighting is only, but the fixing wasn't. And also, there's another minhag that usually the man lights the candle and lets it a little black and he blows it out, and then the woman has it. Usually the man does it. This is comes from, brings the source here. Okay, but anyway, in other words, the man and husband work together. Yes, where's a pu'ula? Where's an action where a man and woman work together? Candle lighting time. I don't know if it happens in reality, but men don't do that. Do it, but it's together, working together. Okay, that's what I'm really interested in the first part. Why are the women more careful? So when I said the word tikkun, the woman wanted to make a tikkun, which means for more shleimus. So the woman wanted to grab or chap the mitzvah to be more zoya. So the women grabbed the fact that since she in the past was involved, Chava was involved in the past with the story of the Eitz Hadas, which brought the light of the world down. So the woman wants to make the tikkun. She wants to make the tikkun, so she grabs onto this mitzvah and she pushes away her husband, and she says, look, it has to do with a tikkun, so therefore it's in the nature of a woman that they want, if they did something wrong, is to make a tikkun. Most women want to be just right and exact. They do something wrong, it bothers them. If the chair is out of place, or the cleaner's not full, or they did something wrong, they always want to fix it up and to do the shleimus hadar. Okay? So I brought a riot from here. And now we're ready for my real piece. This is just the weekly session. Now I want to talk about the piece. I did this. I copied the Megillas Esther. I only have 15 copies. And I copied the Megillah, in the art scrolls. I copied the beginning of the art scroll. Rabbi Zimmerman holds, once it's out in print, you can do what you want. There are no rights for anything. It's already out. And there's no rights that you can't copy, do copy. That's representative. I hold these rights. What? Once it's Torah, it's out in the world, finished. It's not yours anymore. It's Torah, belongs to Klal Yisrael. And rest assured, the art schools make loads of money. They can't say they didn't have the money. They're dying of poor. You know what I mean? They're going to be making for Schottenstein, they're making in memory of his father. I think it is, who knows, $500,000 thing there, who knows what. Anyway, I want to pass out. I only got 15 copies, so let's get them out. Get out this side. I think maybe the married one with the single girls can sit together, so because I think the married girls need this. It's very important for them. Is any extras to get to them? Okay, just pass it out. Let's pass it out, please. Pass them out. It cost a fortune of money, but now. Okay, pass it out, please. Now I want to turn to this page. I made one change in the thing, so I have a right to reprint it. Now, hope she did it. I don't know if she did it. I really don't know. If she did all the work. The secretary.
Yes.
Okay, now, on page 31, please. Page, took to 31, please. It's XXS1. Okay? XXX1. Introduction. You got it? Everybody got it? Who doesn't have to raise his hand? We can help you. XXX1, 31. You got it? I took out the word Esther a dash wife. In the art scrolls, they had the chutzpah and the nerve to write a forlorn wife. Anybody know what a forlorn means? Okay. And therefore, I try to, with what we learned over here, we're going to try to work here and have to change the word. I want you to write in which word you think Esther is. A little homework, a little puzzle.
Now or later?
Let's put it now. You have now and then what? If you picture Esther in the Megillas Esther, what would you say? What kind of wife was she? Don't read what it wrote there. Okay, then you have what was before and what's after. First, we're going to read what Esther. What kind of wife was she? If you picture Esther, what kind of wife was she? You can write on the side, and then after I tell over the story, I want you to write in the right word.
I put it in there already.
Okay, good. You can always change it because they do it forcing out the words. And since I hold their word was wrong,
Well, I'm supposed to tell you now.
no, don't tell me. I want to tell over the story, and I'll tell you so you have to add the what kind of woman. Okay? I want to explain what we gained in today's class against art scrolls. Okay? Please, you gained something against art. Okay, well, let's go. Let's start from the beginning. Yeah. Since it's in English, I can have everybody read. Let's say me to reading. I'm just starting from the beginning. I don't need the one in the beginning I had on the side, joy and that. No. Look anyway. She just copied everything. Let's get page 15. You got it? Esther min Atarminayin. We want to read. We're going to start. Which way? I start usually from the right. We'll start from the right.
Is this overview?
Yeah, just read. I'm just going to read, and I'll try to explain parts. And then I want to get to the main
Where
part.
is there an allusion to Esther in the Torah?
Yeah.
And I will hide my face.
Yeah.
In the days of Esther, there will
Now
be...
stop. What does that mean? Haster. In other words, God is as if is hiding. I wanted to make a dimya. Moshe is not there. Where's God? God. Where is God? What's happening? No, it's gone. Okay, where's Haster? In the time of Esther, where's? Okay, we'll see later. Okay. But you first.
In the days of Esther, there will be a concealment of the divine countenance.
In other words, something's hidden. Okay, hidden. God is hidden. What's happening is hidden. Okay. Good. Thank you.
Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda said, Esther sent to the sages, establish me, the festival marking my miracle for all time. They sent back, Do you seek to arouse the jealousy of the nations against us? She sent them. I am already inscribed in the royal chronicle of Media and Persia.
So it means I'm revealed already. They said you're hidden, and if you're hidden, nobody knows what's really happening. It's I'm revealed. Okay, let's read. You read the end of the page, you just won't read a part of the page.
It is hard to imagine how the divine countenance could be concealed during a prophetic period. Surely the prophets would see it and reveal its grandeur. In our confused times, many wonder how we
what's next?
will know.
Okay, next person, go ahead. Who reads English here? English?
We know when Mashiach arrives, who will tell us. If only we had a prophet, then we would know. Then we would follow.
In other words, what are we saying? In these times, we want to know. We want to see where's God, the hand of God, what's happening. You know what I mean? So what do? We go to these people who have these little, what do you call it? Magic things, and they historic, whatever. Okay, fortune tellers. Okay. We'll pass this to you back there. We have one last copy. Pass it way down to him. I'll read from the scroll that's up. Go ahead. Go ahead. There. Well, read till the end of the page. Each one reads a page. Yeah?
There were still prophets during Diaspora, yet Babylonian exile. Even in its closing...
No, why doesn't she read?
She doesn't want
Okay, you'll read two then. Okay, now.
Daniel, Mordechai, Baruch ben Neriah, Ezra, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, and more were still on the scene. 52 years after the destruction of the temple, a prophecy was fulfilled. Cyrus, the king of Persia, gave the order that the house of God be rebuilt in Jerusalem. The prophet Isaiah had foretold it about 200 years before. So said God to his anointed, to Cyrus, for the sake of Jacob my servant and Israel my chosen, he shall build my city and he shall free my captives.
Stop. In other words, at this period of time, there were prophets, and what's going to happen, and the prophecy was there. It was only 52 years after the destruction of the temple that Cyrus came and the prophecy was taking place. That's what, go ahead, you said that.
It was 2 years before Ahasuerus became king, and over 4 years before the opening scene of the Gilzad.
Stop. Let's get that time. You got 2 years before Ahasuerus became king, and 4 years before the opening scene of Megillah Esther.
Oh, that they wanted to rebuild the...
That's right. We're going to see already soon, you're going to see on 24, you're going to see the list. Turn to 24 for a second. Let's see 24. This is very important, by the way. 24. Page 24. Turn to 24. Look together, girls. Look together, please. Look together. What can you see from him? The year of the event. Read it. The year of the event. You got it? 24. Okay, maybe mixed up a little bit. You'll get it.
The year of the event. Oh.
Okay, you got it?
Okay.
Everybody got it? From the beginning, we're just counting the years. You got it?
Okay.
You got the table? Go ahead, read it.
3318, Nebuchadnezzar assumes the throne of Babylon. 3319, Nebuchadnezzar conquers King Jehoiakim of Judea. The Jewish land becomes the vassal state of Babylon. 3327, Nebuchadnezzar exiles King Yehoiah of Yehuda together with the leading scholars. 3338, Nebuchadnezzar destroys the temple and exiles the Jewish nation. 3389, Belshazzar dating to 70 from the ascension to the throne of Yehuda.
In other words, it said in 70 years when the Jews left, before they left, it was announced that 70 years later the Jews are going to come back to Eretz Yisrael.
Right.
Okay.
He thought it was past, so he celebrates and dies. He interprets 70 years of Babylon as a reference to the reigning dynasty. 3390, Cyrus orders the construction of the temple. It is indeed 70 years since the first stage of the exile and the conquest of Yehuda. God has remembered Jerusalem as promised to Jeremiah, but not yet redeemed it. 3392, Ahasuerus becomes king and orders the cessation of construction of the temple. 3394, Ahasuerus in the third year of his reign concludes that 70 years dating from Yehoiah's exile have ended, although only 67 calendar years have elapsed. Ahasuerus followed the ancient custom of counting a fraction of a royal year as a full year. 3406.
And what does he do? He brings out the garments of the Beis Hamikdash. We'll see whatever.
Ahasuerus dies and is succeeded by Darius, son of Esther. 3408, Darius orders that construction of the temple begin again. It is 70 years since the destruction of Jerusalem.
So in other words, when the prophecy was there, it was fulfilled. And all these kings thought it happened already, and therefore once they knew it was going to happen, what did they feel? Ha ha ha, it's not going to be filled. Therefore the Jews are down, and we can now take out things. The temple, we can persecute the Jews. Which really means, which is my real message, you're going to read inside, and the message is, the Goyim are afraid of our prophecy. People say, no, the Torah is nothing, don't care about it. They're bashful, but the answer is really down deep. They know it's real, it's going to happen. And everybody knows the prophecy, the future prophecy, when all the nations are going to come to Eretz Israel, it's happening. Today already, how many Jews are in Israel? 4 million. But soon, according to the state of Israel, in a few years, there'll be the majority of Jews in Israel. And it's happening. And it's happening in front of our eyes. Although the Arabs are taking our land, what's happening? We're building like you never saw before. You want to go into a big, good business, go into building houses. For some reason, loads of things happening, building cars and actually televisions, land houses, it's all happening. It's all happening in this little country. But the prophecy comes back, it's happening.
We don't believe in prophecies.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, but they do. We're going to take it serious.
I know. That's what
And that's why. If I'm going. I don't want to. But there are a lot of Jews going in the States are really nervous. What's going to happen? What's going to be? I had on Mount Zion my friend. What's his name? No, the other side of the mountain. Doctor. No. They told me, I had always fights with them. They said, don't worry, in the year 2005 or 7, he's coming. I said, look, we'll meet each other here and see what will be. And they're waiting for those dates, have certain calculations. They'll find all the calculations are wrong as they made wrong calculations here. But they're all worried about it. They're all coming and looking, the world is coming, the Pope is coming. We're just dopes and we run after them if they come. But they're going to come anyway and see what's happening here. Because they're all worried about the prophecy. And on the end, the hand of Hashem is going to come. Anyway, we'll read it. But they take it serious. Remember, they take it serious. And they're afraid of the Bible. And they're afraid of the Torah. And the Germans, when they got around Rabbi Yochanan Vassman, they didn't want to kill him. They were afraid. The Germans, the murderers. Come on, girls, listen here. You'll write later. The Germans were afraid to kill Rabbi Yochanan Vassman. So what they do? They burnt his house. They burnt his house. They're afraid to kill. Because they know the power of a rabbi. It's not simple. The common people, they make fun of it. Everybody knows it. And when Clinton came here, what did he talk about? The Bible. What our Prime Minister talk about? Who knows? Quotes. Every rabbi in shul wants to show his man. She quotes all these, these interesting books, non-Jewish books. And we go and quote the Bible. What?
Before Netanyahu was elected, he was quoting the Bible.
Yeah.
Or somebody was writing it.
Yeah, but it makes no difference. But he had the strength to say it in public. He wasn't ashamed. We're ashamed of it.
No, but he was saying it in public before he was
But it
elected.
makes no difference. But he wasn't ashamed. Here. We're ashamed. That's the point.
Right.
That's the point. Don't forget about he's trained, etc. But not only him, everybody's that way. Everybody's that way. It says
When
in
he first came to New York, he wore a kippah and he was proud and he walked his own floor.
Yeah, but you see,
now he's ashamed.
that's right. And other people, I don't want to say, okay, long story. I want to learn because we don't have time. Go ahead, let's go. Read further.
It was 2 years before Ahasuerus became king, and on the 33rd he received the Esther, the Jewish people intensely familiar with the prophecies of Isaiah, the gesture of Cyrus should have been signal to convert upon Jerusalem to rebuild the temple that had been raised by Mordechai. Indeed, they should have considered it a great opportunity that they, not Cyrus, were given this privilege of rebuilding the house of God. According to Isaiah's prophecy, it was the divine will that Cyrus, not the Jews, build the house of God and bring his children back to its holy environment. But
That's it. Right, that's interesting. Who did God say to build? The Goy, Cyrus. He let the Jews do it. Interesting. Maybe who knows what will be then coming back in the meantime. Good.
Cyrus, who wept and groaned over the temple's destruction, became God's chosen instrument to fulfill the ancient prophecy and bring the glory of the divine presence back to the holy mountain, where Abraham bound Isaac to the altar, where Jacob beheld the heavenly ladder, where David set his hopes, and where Solomon built the temple of God. The righteous Persian monarch gave the order that the Jews might go home again, and only 42,000 heeded his call.
Stop. You hear that? The king said, go, you can go. What happened? That's why the Taimanis were cursed. The Taimanis were cursed there because they didn't want to go. And a lot of people who, this is the word of, I heard this from Panovich Rav, who spoke in America, that these people who took their thumb and said, how can we play the instrument in a foreign country? They cut their thumbs. When the time came to come back to Israel, what they say? Come on, I got my grandchildren here. How can I come? The same person.
But didn't they know that the 70 years hadn't passed?
They made mistakes, saying it's mistakes. That's what we read about. You don't know about it. Everybody's waiting for the 70 years. And you're making, that's exactly what you're going to read. That's exactly.
Right, but I'm saying Ahasuerus thought the 70 years had passed.
Everybody.
But so the Jews thought that it had passed as well?
We'll see right away. He talks about it. This is the whole piece. What's only part of the piece, like the history. That's why it says when the Yom Kippur War took place. So my brother and I, we looked into the prophecy books. Hey, it's going to happen. So we quickly ran to the rabbi that says there that the old city, the Arabs are going to, or who's going to come in here. They're going to kill all the men and women. And what should we do? Should we stay or run? So we went to see Rav Kluchinsky. He said, listen, I have a Kabbalah of my Rebbe from the Vilna Gaon that nobody knows what's going to be. When it happens, you go outside and look at your watch, and if in a minute and a half nothing happens, go back. It's not the time. 3 minutes. So he looked at his watch and went out. Came in and said, don't worry, it's not happening.
It's not golden money.
Not golden.
You have to bring in something.
You'll see. It'll happen. It's like an atomic bomb. Who knows what it will be? It'll happen. And everybody's afraid. That's why you got to eat. Make sure you eat the Suda Shlishas and eat Malach Malchus to protect you against what? It's the time of Mashiach time. It's going to be. Anyway, let's go. Read further.
When Hashem hides his face, such are the effects: confusion, hesitation, fear. What does Hashem want of us? Where and how do we do his bidding? And what is his bidding?
This is very important. When God hides his direction, maybe I should explain to you. When God hides his direction, so then we're confused. And really the Jews, until we have the temple, God is hiding himself. So we're not confused. We're lost sheep. Okay? And especially at that time. Even though they had the prophets. Okay? Everything. This was the tapestry. Go ahead, let's read.
This was the tapestry before which the actors in the horn story entered the stage of history. The Jewish people were splintered and confused. Torah study was experiencing a renaissance of Babylon. But some of its outstanding sons were asking whether they, as a nation driven by its God from his land, still owed him any more allegiance than a divorced woman driven from the home of her husband, or a freed slave sent away from the home of his master.
This is a Gemara Sanhedrin. You know what? The Jews said, look, we're out already, finished. We're no longer, we're kicked out of Israel. God gave a divorce, so finished. Might as well do the best. I'm leaving for the now. For the now. I had a friend of mine, he's still alive. Rich man, he gives Yeshiva money. So he married an Arab. He's a Jew married an Arab. Why? He said, listen, when I go, he owns ships, a lot of ships. He owns a lot of ships. So, a multi-millionaire, 200, 500, rich man. So he said, listen, when I'm on the ship, it's pikuach nefesh. Pikuach nefesh, so then, his boat will call it Torah Kula. The whole Torah doesn't work. So on the ship, the Torah is like, I don't have to fulfill the Torah because I'm on the ship. So I married a guy on the ship. But now I have the guy, it's your wife, what can I do? That's what he tells all the rabbis that come to see him. And big rabbi got millions of dollars from the man, famous man. His plaques are all over the place in a lot of places. And that's what people were there. But that's what the people thought. People actually thought that God forsaken them. After the war, obviously Germany, they said God's finished. A lot of people went away. And from Judaism, for God's finished. There's no God. Why'd they kill my mother, my father? No God. So that's it. We live for the now. And that's not true because God is here and concealed. Go ahead. That's the Gemara.
A shocking question, one that can only be understood as one more saddening indication of the many deals behind which the divine countenance is hidden. Cyrus moved his royal capital to Shushan in the land of Elam. With him went Mordechai and Daniel, but they were not able to teach Torah and Elam as they had, and their peers were still doing in the flowering academies of Babylon. Elon, the seat of royal power, the source of Jewish hope, was barren of Torah, more concealment of the divine countenance.
Read.
The work on the temple in Jerusalem proceeded under Cyrus despite the harassment of hostile nations surrounding Jerusalem. In the last month of his reign, Cyrus had a change of heart. He forbade additional Jews to cross the river to the land of Israel. This setback caused the Jewish pioneers in Jerusalem to despair and halt the work they had begun so hopefully. But the rebuilding had not been outlawed, only hindered.
What does that mean? The people lost hope. The temple is going to be not going to happen. So again, like God is hidden. They look at events and say, "Look, events, what's happening?" If you look at events, we're taking away today. What Hebron and this, right? So you'd be disheartened. Taking away the Golan, okay, but meanwhile more Jews are coming in. So something happens. So we don't understand what's happening. Go ahead, finish, please.
The reign of Cyrus did not long endure. Only 2 years after he ordered the rebuilding of the temple, Ahasuerus was king of the vast Persian Empire. The new king was no friend of the Jews. Despite the impression common among us that he was an amiable drunkard who was manipulated by Haman, the sages make it very clear that he was thoroughly evil, and that he hated the Jews even more than did Haman. His queen Vashti, a granddaughter of the
Finish the paragraph.
they denied even a fragile, fulminated furiously against the feeble attempts to rebuild the temple, and she insisted that Ahasuerus put an end to the holy task begun by Cyrus. Finally, a vicious letter arrived from Jerusalem. It was written by enemies of the Jews, the sons of Haman prominent among them, and accused them of building the temple as a prelude to rebellion. Ahasuerus was only too happy to accept the advice of his queen and the reports of his observers. He ordered an end to the work in Jerusalem.
Next. But this one. Read.
So another veil descended over the divine countenance as it seemed saying that Isaiah's prophecy was not to be fulfilled. And if not, then perhaps indeed the Jewish people were no less adrift and alone than the wife and slave driven from their former husband and husband. There was another prophecy more explicit and more imminent than Isaiah's that was a source of confusion at best and a despair at worst. For thus says the Lord, that after 70 years of Babylon are completed, I will remember you and perform my good word concerning you to make you return to this place. I, Daniel, considered in the book the number of years whereof the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he would complete 70 years of the ruins of Jerusalem.
Clear as day, 70 years. Go ahead.
But Cyrus ordered the fulfillment of the prophecies, and if it was, how could it have been so easily nullified by Ahasuerus?
Stop. That's an important question. You see, probably should be going. What's happening? Okay, good.
With the gracious gesture of Cyrus, a divine invitation to the Jews to demonstrate their love for Jerusalem, and found wanting that they denied even the fragile beginning of redemption, another veil of concealment over the divine countenance.
Read further.
What happens when God's face is hidden? We no longer see his hand guiding history. The successes and failures of the Jewish people were historically dependent upon their obedience to God and his Torah. Torah and prophets are a series of pledges and warnings. When Jews were loyal to the dictates of their Creator, they were rewarded in this world as well as the next. And when they failed to heed his word, retribution was not long in coming. That was when God showed his face and his concern. When his countenance was concealed, Israel became subject to the whims of rulers, the mutations of nature and the vicissitudes of history. The smile of Cyrus seemed to matter more than the sympathy of Jeremiah, and the frown of Ahasuerus was more disastrous than the chastisements of Moses.
So what do we see? The hidden parts of Hashem? And when we follow Hashem, what happens? We win. Don't follow Hashem. It's the same here. The Jewish nation today, everybody's in Tel Aviv and Haifa, and they don't care about the land. They care about their own personal pleasures. They're involved in read the newspapers. It's a shame, and losing the disgrace and dignity of the Jewish nation as even they have it. And the Knesset is like a jungle. They lost the dignity of the Prime Minister.
This is a very good reading.
What?
Can we get to this?
Yeah. Esther Minator Minayin. Okay. Next.
No, it says about an illusory veil that could conceal him only from those who are blind.
That's right. Where's that?
We
We didn't get there yet.
That's a great line.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Esther Minator Minayin. Right. Go ahead next.
On the third, where's an allusion to Esther in the Torah? On On the surface, it seemed clear that it was God who had made himself distant, but in reality, even the concealment was ordained by the Torah. It was the Jewish people that had created the distance between itself and its God. By neglecting its total dependence on God and its total belief in the supreme Anochi and I, the Anochi I of the first commandment, Anochi Hashem Lokecha, and the Lord your God, the Jews created the conditions that beclouded the divine image and allowed a barrier to conceal his countenance from them. But he was still there. It was the challenge of that confused, baffled, frightened generation to strip away the veils, or better said, to recognize that it was he who gave existence to all the veils, that nature itself was but an illusory veil that could conceal him only from those who were blind. That was the challenge. It was the greatness of Mordechai and Esther that they found him to themselves and revealed him to others, and in so doing, illuminated every darkness down through the centuries.
Next page you read. It said the second temple.
This prophecy. Most of us have become indoctrinated with a non-Jewish, anti-Torah version of history. The existence of destruction at the temple has been portrayed as a cultural sidelight to the existence of the Jewish nation-state. The Jerusalem awarded by Cyrus as a Jewish subject consisted of only the city and its immediate environs, barely more than a dot on the world scene, and surely of no greater significance than any casual amnesty of a kind-hearted ruler. Saturated as many of us have become with this version of history, we are thoroughly convinced that whatever importance the Holy Land possessed was primarily because it was the crossroads of three continents.
That's if you read most, you open up most history books. What's the importance of Israel? Because it was... Yeah, that's what it's telling you, but it's not true. But read further.
The authentic history of the period that seems through Torah eyes is far different.
There's such a thing as Torah eyes. Go ahead.
Jeremiah's prophecy hung like a sword over the heads of absolute monarchs. To them, the temple was more than a building. It represented a philosophy of life that was dramatically opposed to theirs. The God of Israel was a power who had destroyed kings from Pharaoh to Sanherib. If his people were to be redeemed, then he could well lay low the masters, kings, and rulers of all lands, as he had done whenever they menaced his people in past generations. When Haman sought to persuade Ahasuerus that the Jews could be exterminated with impunity, the Jew-hating king was reluctant. I am afraid that their God will do to me what he did to my predecessors, he argued.
Stop. Now, this is a very key point. The Goyim really worry about the God of the Jew. So we say, oh, God, they don't believe us anyway. It's not real. It's not true. They worry about the Jew. They worry about a rabbi. They give respect. They care. It's a big truth. You have to know that. We make poo-poo the Torah and the version of the happening, the Mashiach. Yeah, we talk about it's happening. You know, it's like but it's not true. They take it serious. They know it's serious. We'll see right away. Haman answered.
Haman answered, the Jews are sleeping because they no longer perform mitzvahs as they once did. They do not merit heavenly intercession. Haman and Ahasuerus saw more clearly than did the Jews. They too saw the veil of concealment, but the two plotters knew that the darkness was not composed from on high. It was a reflection of Jewish attitudes to law.
In other words, they knew that it's real. What caused the trouble? Who's the worst enemy? Ourselves. We don't keep the Torah mitzvah, so that's what happened. That's right. Next person to read. Sarah, go ahead.
For more than a generation, Jeremiah's prophecy haunted monarchs in their hearts.
I want you to read that aloud. Read it again.
For more than a generation, Jeremiah's prophecy haunted monarchs in their hearts. The Lord of hosts said that Babylon would be a sentence for 70 years, and that the ruins of Jerusalem would rot for 70 years. If the prophecy were to come true, crowns would topple and empires crumble. As long as the prophecy was pending, kings avoided grotesque acts of disrespect toward God, lest they provoke the saints. They lived in fear, but they also lived with hope, the hope that the destruction of the temple marked the end of God's ascendancy of the Shalom, or that the Jewish authority had allowed the gods to king them in judgment. And the magic number was 70. With 70 years went by without fulfillment of Jeremiah's prophecy, then Jerusalem was forever in a cloud of fuel and a haven only spot.
When the state of Israel came into existence, the church got nervous. Why? Because according to them, the Jews should disappear and Christianity should extend.
They're the new Israel.
They're the new Israel, and they got nervous. When the same thing is that, according to Marx, what should happen? The middle class should disappear. The Jews in the middle class, they got to disappear. Did we disappear? No way. And we always were a threat, and we always try to knock us down. Same thing into history. Go ahead.
Belshazzar, grandson of and successor to the son of Nebuchadnezzar, watched the days go by with trepidation at the end of the year number 70 BC. Jeremiah's prophecy was well known and well respected. After 70 years of Babylon were completed, the then current Babylonian Empire was founded by Nebuchadnezzar in the year 3318. He reigned for 45 years and was succeeded by his son Evil
Merodach.
who reigned for another 20 years. Belshazzar saw the months go by until he entered the third year of his reign, and the 70 years were over. He rejoiced, but he was not content to be merely joyous. He had to show his contempt of the God whose power he no longer feared.
Where are they in the counting wrong? How is the counting
You see,
wrong?
right there, the book tells you, and I want to read quickly. I got the most things about the women, not that, but I just want you to know.
Here's a wild orgiastic feast that has become legendary in the literature of Esther. To celebrate, he did something that not even his brazen grandfather had dared to. He took out the sacred vessels of the temple and used them in his wild, drunken revelry. And why not? Jeremiah was wrong. Babylon had survived this deadline, and Jerusalem was now being rebuilt. But Belshazzar was wrong. By morning, he was dead. The arithmetic of the 70 years will be discussed later. For the moment, however, let us take note that no Babylonian king, even after the raising of Jerusalem, dared use its holy vessels. They knew full well that though Judea was but a minor province in the world of real politics, it was a major spiritual force. The prophecy was real, and if it came true, punishment too terrible to be contemplated would be visited upon the monarch who dared profane the holy day.
Next, but let's read.
Belshazzar's audacity was duly punished that very night as he was murdered by Darius.
And his son.
And his son lost Cyrus the Persian. Darius offered the throne to Cyrus, the younger man, demurred because Daniel prophesied that the king of Babylon passed first to Media and to Persia. So it was a prophecy besides the highest of all affairs of state, the identity of the monarch and the seat of the world in India. But both reigns were brief. Darius lasted a year, Cyrus for less than 3. 392, Ahasuerus assumed from Persian Emperor and kept it from the city of Shushan. He took it one eye on the calendar, 7 years, when would they end? Belshazzar blundered miserably but levelly. His computation on affairs was determined to be better. According to his calculation, 7 years ended with the third year of his reign. He celebrated the fabulous 180-day feast, which reveals Esther begins, and he too has